As a high performance mindset coach, one of the most common things that people ask me is, how do I just control my brain? I've heard about mind over matter. I've heard about willpower. How do I use it so that I can control these thoughts and not have this negative thought pattern happening all the time? If you've ever thought that, how can I control my thoughts? This video is for you. Hi, my name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them reprogram their minds so that they can take back control and create the life that they want to live. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you why willpower and mind over matter are the least effective and most toxic strategies to gaining control over your life. Then I'm going to share with you 2 things that you must do if you genuinely want to have control over your thoughts so that you can create the life that you want to live. Now, willpower and self-discipline and this concept of mind over matter are some of the most toxic concepts to ever come out of the self-help and personal development world. The problem with these concepts is they are not actually based on how our mind or our brains work. Mind over matter says that our conscious mind will control our unconscious mind. Willpower and self-discipline imply the same thing. The problem with that is your conscious mind is only 4% of your mind's capacity, which means your unconscious mind is 96% of your mind's capacity. So when we say things like mind over matter, what we're implying is that we want the 4% to control the 96% 100% of the time. Nobody would take those odds in Vegas unless they were wanting to gamble their money away. So why would you take those odds in your life? It just doesn't make sense. We want to set ourselves up for success, which means we need to get the unconscious mind on board. Contrary to what Freud and so many other pop psychologists have led people to believe, your unconscious mind is not working against you. It actually wants you to have everything that you want. You just don't have the tools to program it correctly. You've just been focusing on the things that program it towards what you don't want instead of getting what you do want. So if you want to learn how to program your unconscious mind to get more success, then follow this video. And I would also encourage you to subscribe to my channel because all the content that I'm putting out every single week is based on how you can reprogram your unconscious mind to become the creator of your life. So all you have to do that is hit that subscribe button below and like this video while you're there. Now, one of the main reasons that people lose the ability to control their thoughts is because they believe that because their thoughts are coming from their brain and their brain controls their body, that all of their thoughts must be true. But the reality is that all of your thoughts are just a repeat and a reflection of things that you've experienced in the past and things that other people have told you. Your inner voice is not totally your own. It is completely influenced by past experiences. Now, when we believe that this inner voice is always true 100% of the time, then what we do is we stay anchored and rooted in our past instead of creating a future that is different and that is more aligned with where we want to go. So what we have to do is we actually have to disconnect from our thoughts. We have to start practicing a lack of attachment to our thoughts and see that our thoughts are simply just thoughts, and we can choose which ones we prescribe to. One thing that I recommend for you to do this is to close your eyes, to take a couple deep breaths, and to just start observing your thoughts. Imagine that you're stepping out of your body and you're watching the words in your head from a different perspective or from a different level of being. Now, as you watch these thoughts start to float on by, you can start to see that these thoughts are just thoughts. They have no truth to them, and they only have truth when we decide to become attached to them. When you do this process on a regular basis, you can start deciding which thoughts you attribute meaning to and which thoughts you just allow to float on by. Now, keep in mind that while you're doing this practice, it's probably likely that your mind's going to wander and you're going to forget to observe the thoughts. And what will then happen is that critic voice in your head pops up and says, see, you can't meditate, or see, this isn't possible for you. You're not good enough to do this. That's just another thought, and you don't have to give it any weight or any credibility unless you choose to. When we start recognizing that both the cheerleader in our head, that angel on our shoulder, and the critic or the devil on our shoulder are just voices, and we choose which one to give credibility to, we can change our life dramatically. So before I share with you the second way that you can start to control your thoughts at a higher level, I'd love to hear from you. What thoughts are you ready to let go of giving credibility to? Which thoughts are you ready to just let float on by and no longer create attachment to? Go to the comments below and let me know. The other thing that we need to do to really reprogram our unconscious mind and start thinking in a different way is to let go of our limiting beliefs. Any limiting beliefs that we have, things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, people will judge me, I'll be rejected, I won't be accepted. Any of those beliefs are, again, rooted into your perception of past experiences. Now, 95% of the belief systems that we have as adults, those seeds were actually planted in the mind between the ages of 0 and 7. So before you fully understood anything about the world or what the world meant, you created these belief systems, which then set filters or blinders for how you see your life. And those blinders then ultimately validated those belief systems. There's two sides to every coin, and we can choose to see the side that validates our belief systems, or we can see the side that invalidates our belief systems. Now, what often happens is people will delete information from their environment, they'll distort information from their environment, or they'll generalize the information in their environment to match their belief systems. So when we start asking ourselves different questions, we get different answers. So let's say I have a belief of I'm not good enough. Well, I could just accept it, which most people do, or I could start to ask myself, not good enough at what? Not good enough for who? How do I know this to be true? What would it look like if I was good enough? And when we start asking ourselves these questions, we can start undeleting and undistorting and ungeneralizing information so that we can start to get a different view of reality. Now, if you want more tools just like this to help you really master your mind, to let go of fear, to overcome imposter syndrome and overwhelm, and so many of the other mental blocks that keep us stuck for good, I would love to have you join me in my 6-day Mind Mastery Challenge. In this free challenge, I've pulled together the 6 most powerful tools that I use with my clients to help them overcome these mental blocks and create dramatic and quick changes in their life. All you have to do to get free instant access is go to nlpworksheet.com or click on the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.